Good morning, dear Glorians. In the previous maths class, we had started with the lesson Triangle and their Properties, wherein you all had learnt about the basic details and types of triangles based on sides. In today's video, we move ahead in learning the types of triangles based on angles. So, the types of triangles based on angles are as follows. The first one is named as an acute angled triangle. The second one is named as a right angled triangle. And the third one is named as an obtuse angled triangle. Next, in order to identify whether the given triangle is of the following three types, for that you all need to make use of one of the geometrical instrument, that is the protractor. The protractor will help you measure the degree of the angles, as well as it will help you construct or draw any type of angle. So, with this information, now let's move ahead to understand the meaning of an acute angle triangle. Well, students, if you observe the first figure, that is triangle ABC, you all will notice that the measure of angle A is 75 degree, which is less than 90 degree. The measure of angle B is 43 degree, which is less than 90 degree. And the measure of angle C is 62 degree, which is again less than 90 degree. So, when all the three angles of a triangle measure less than 90 degree, we name that triangle as an acute angled triangle. Now, let's observe the second figure, that is triangle ABC. Here again in the second figure, you all will notice that the measure of angle A is 40 degree, that is less than 90 degree. The measure of angle B is 75 degree, which is less than 90 degree. And the measure of angle C is 65 degree, which is again less than 90 degree. So here again in this triangle ABC, we notice that all the three angles of a triangle measure less than 90 degree. So we will name this particular type of triangle as an acute angle triangle. Well, students, with the help of these two examples, I hope you have understood well the meaning of an acute angle triangle. Remember that an acute angle triangle is the one wherein all the three angles of that triangle will measure less than 90 degree. Okay? With this, now let's move ahead and learn the meaning of the next triangle, that is called as a right angle triangle. So students, when you will observe the first triangle figure, in this triangle PQR, you will notice that measure of angle P is 60 degree, which is less than 90 degree. Measure of angle Q is 90 degree itself, and measure of angle R is 30 degree, which is again less than 90 degree. So children, in a triangle, when out of the three angles, if one angle measures exact 90 and the other two angle measures less than 90, that time we name the triangle as a right angle triangle. Now let's observe the second figure. So students, in the second triangle figure, that is triangle XYZ, in this triangle you all will notice that measure of angle X is exact 90, measure of angle Y is 45, which is less than 90, and measure of angle Z is 45, which is again less than 90. So children, in a triangle, when out of the three angles, if one angle measures exact 90 and the other two angle measures less than 90, that time we name that triangle as a right angle triangle. So students, here in both these examples, you notice that in triangle PQR, out of the three angles, only angle Q measures exact 90. So in a triangle, when you have a presence of any 90 angle, we call that triangle as a right angle triangle. Similarly, in the second figure, that is triangle XYZ, here again out of the three angles, we have the presence of angle X, which is exact 90. Okay. So because out of the three angles, there is one angle which measures exact 90, we call this type of triangle as a right angle triangle. So I hope again with the help of these two examples, the concept regarding the right angle triangle is clear to you. Please remember that in a right angle triangle, you will come across one angle which measures exact 90 and the other two angle, they will measure less than 90. Okay children, now let's move ahead and learn the meaning for the next angle, which is an obtuse angle triangle. So now children, here when you will observe the first figure, that is triangle ABC, you will all notice that measure angle A is 30, which is less than 90. Measure angle B is 110, which is more than 90. And measure angle C is 40, which is less than 90. So students, in a triangle, when out of the three angles, if one angle measures more than 90 and the other two angle measures less than 90, that time we name that triangle as an obtuse angle triangle. Now let's have a look at the second example. When you all will observe the second triangle figure, that is triangle ABC, here again children, you will notice that measure of angle A is 25, which is less than 90. Measure of angle B is 45, which is less than 90. And measure of angle C is 110, which is more than 90. So students, here again we have noticed that in a triangle, when out of the three angles, if one angle measures more than 90 and the other two angle measure less than 90, that time we name this type of triangle as an obtuse angle triangle. So students, in both these example figures, we observe that in the first figure, that is triangle ABC, only angle B measures 110, which is more than 90 degree, and therefore we call this, and the remaining two angle they measure 30 and 40 degree. So obviously in this triangle, since we have out of the three one angle measuring as an obtuse angle, okay, or we have a degree wherein it is more than 90 degree, so we assume to call this particular triangle as an obtuse angle triangle. Similarly, in the second example again, where the naming given is triangle ABC, here again you could notice that the out of the three angles, there is one angle that measures more than 90 degree, which is the angle C. Angle C measures 110 degree, which is more than 90 degree. And the other two angles, they are measuring 25 degree and 45 degree, which is less than 90 degree. So children, please remember that an obtuse angle triangle is the one in which out of all the three angles, one angle will surely measure more than 90 degrees. So we call such type of triangle as an obtuse angle triangle. So once again, I hope with the help of these two examples, the concept regarding an obtuse angle triangle is clear to all of you. And so as we have done all the three types of triangles, okay, based upon its angles, I just sum up, okay, once again by repeating the matter to you. That is, we have learned types of triangles based on angles now. So the first triangle that we learned was an acute angle triangle. Remember that in an acute angle triangle, all the measures of the three angles of the triangle, they will be less than 90 degree. Is it clear? Once again I repeat, in an acute angle triangle, the measures of all the three angles of the triangle will be less than 90 degree. Okay. Then in the right angle triangle, remember that out of all the three measures of the angles of the triangle, one angle will measure 90 degree. Okay. So when you find that one angle measuring 90 degree and the other two measuring less than 90 degree, we assume to call that particular triangle as a right angle triangle. And the third triangle that we learned here is an obtuse angle triangle. Remember that in an obtuse angle triangle, when out of the three angle measures, when only one angle measures more than 90 degree and the other two, they measure less than 90 degree, that time we call that particular triangle as an obtuse angle triangle. So based upon all this information, the very first question that you have to solve it, okay, by yourself is given to you on page number 78 of your textbook. Okay, I have displayed the screen for you. You can refer to your textbook, children. Now here in this particular question, they have stated that you need to measure all the angles of the triangles given below. Enter them in the following table. So they have given you three triangles. The name of the first triangle is triangle DEF. The name of the second triangle is triangle PQR. And the name of the third triangle is triangle LMN. Now what are you supposed to do? You are going to measure the angles of each and every triangle over here. Okay, so you are going to measure what is the measurement of angle E, then what is the measurement of angle F, what is the measurement of angle D. Once you measure the angle, then you are going to write them down in the table that is given to you below. Okay, like in the first column only they have given you measure of angle D is equals to measure angle T, which is equals to dash degree. Now here on the screen you can see no degree. Why? Because you need to measure, children. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I am going to show you how to measure with the help of the protractor. Okay, so you will be seeing slides, children. Okay, with the help of the slides only I will be showing you how to place your protractor. Okay, and then you can measure the particular angle. So beginning with the first triangle, that is DEF. So here I have drawn again a rough figure, that is DEF. You have it in your textbook. Okay, so you are going to measure it in your textbook the way I will show it to you in the screen over here. Okay, so once again I repeat, children, please refer to your textbook page number 78. There you have this question given to you. What you are going to do, you are going to measure the angle given to you in your textbook in the similar manner the way you will see I doing it here on screen. Okay, so you need to have a rapport over your children. So please be attentive and concentrate. So the very first triangle given to you is triangle DEF. Now how are we going to find the measure? So let me begin. You will take your protractor and you will now place it. Can you see how I've placed the protractor? In a very proper position. And I have placed the midpoint of the protractor. I'll just highlight it for you as I'm saying. I have placed this midpoint, okay, upon angle E. Okay, now you can see the angle E is getting covered below the protractor. So I've just highlighted for you. I have placed the midpoint of the protractor on angle, that is point E. Okay, in simple word, I'm saying I have placed it on point E. Now, when I place it on point E, you can see that there is one line which is moving towards this F direction. Okay, and can you see it is marked with 0 degree, and normally when we are measuring angle we start with 0 degree. Okay, the inner circle line, and you can see the next line of E, that is the angle E. One hand of angle E is going towards the 0 degree as I've highlighted for you in the orange color, and the second angle or the second arm of the angle E is going here, that is towards 70 degree. Okay, can you see the black line? Okay, it is marking towards the 70 degree. So children, with this I conclude that measure of angle E is what? 70 degree. Okay, have you got it? How to measure your first angle E of the triangle DEF? Please see that you rewatch the video and place your protractor in a very good manner, and then you will come to know for yourself what is the measure of angle E. Now let's move ahead and find the measure of the next angle. So now if you see over here, I have changed the position of the protractor. Please see the position of the protractor. In the similar manner, you need to place it in your textbook. Okay. Now here, if you see the midpoint of the protractor, I have placed it on point D. Okay. Can you see the midpoint? Okay. The midpoint I have placed it on point D. So obviously I am going to find the measure of angle D. Now if you see, one arm of the angle D is going towards this 0 degree. Okay. And the second arm of angle D, if you see, it is going towards 60 degree. Right? Can you see in that green color circle in between there's a black color line? Okay, black color line means the arm of the angle, what you can say. Okay, so here we conclude that measure of angle D is 60 degree. Okay, so now we have found out two measurements. One is for angle E and the other is for angle D. Now let's move ahead and find the measurement of angle F. So here again you can see that I have shifted the position of the protractor. Okay. So once again, if you have a look and if you place the protractor in the way I have done it upon your textbook, then you will notice that here again I have placed the midpoint of the protractor upon point F. Okay. So it is placed upon point F. So obviously I'm going to measure the angle F. Now if you see one arm of this particular angle F, it measures 0 degree. Okay, it goes towards the 0 degree line. Fine. And the second arm of this angle F is measuring towards this 50 degree. Okay, can you see that? Okay, again in both the circle there's a black line in between. So that is called the arm. Okay, so once again here we can conclude that measure of angle F is equals to 50 degree. Fine. So students, based upon the explanation and the position of the protractor and the measurement of the angles that I shown you, okay, with the help of the slides, we have completed the first column of the table. That is, we have written down the measurement. I have shown to you again on the screen with the red color. That is, measurement of angle D is 60 degree. Measurement of angle E is 70 degree. And measurement of angle F, which is equals to M, the angle symbol, then the letter F, which is equals to 50 degree. Okay, so see that this is how you are going to complete the table. So in order to complete the table, you first need to measure each and every angle properly. Okay, children. Now in a similar manner, I will teach you how to measure the angles of this triangle PQR. So beginning over here, see the way I have placed the protractor. Here I have kept the midpoint upon point Q. Okay, so obviously I am going to measure the angle or the measurement of angle Q. So if you now see over here that one arm, okay, of this angle Q goes towards the 0 degree, okay, and the second arm of this angle Q is marking straight towards the 90 degree, right? So here we conclude that measure of angle Q over here is 90 degree. Fine. Now let's move ahead to measure the next angle. Now if you see over here, I have shifted the position of the protractor and now I have placed the protractor in such manner that the midpoint of the protractor, I have placed it on point P. Can you see over here? Okay, the midpoint. Now, since I have placed it on point P, I am going to measure the angle P. So here again you can see that the one arm of this angle P, it goes towards the 0 degree, right? And the second arm of this angle P, if you observe it closely, children, you will notice that it is going towards the measurement 40 and above. So that is nearly 45 you can see. Okay, if you observe it closely, can you see that mark? It is going near 40 degree and above it. So obviously it is going near that 45 degree. Okay, so when you will also measure in this manner, you will understand. Okay, children. So here it's only a pictorial view for you. So with this we conclude that measure of angle P is equals to 45 degree. Okay, now let's measure the next angle. Okay, so here in the next image you can see I have again shifted the position of the protractor and this time I have placed it on point R. Now since I have placed it on point R, obviously I am going to measure angle R. So if you have a look, the one arm of this angle R is going towards 0 degree, okay, which I have just circled it with red. And the second arm of this angle R, it is moving towards, if you see the second arm, it is moving towards the degree that is again 45, okay. So with this we can conclude that measure of angle R is also 45 degree, okay. So based upon all these measurements, let us now go and complete the table. So here I have completed the second column also, wherein in the triangle PQR we have measured, that is, the measure of angle P is 45 degree, measure of angle Q is 90 degree, and measure of angle R is 45 degree. Okay. Now let's move ahead and find out the measurement for the last triangle LMN. So here I have the triangle LMN. Please see in the further slides how I have placed the protractor upon each point and I have measured the angles of it. So I have placed my protractor upon the midpoint, that is M. So since I have placed it upon point M, okay, the midpoint of the protractor, so I'm going to measure the angle M. Now here again, if you see, one arm of this angle M is moving towards the 0 degree, and the second arm of this angle M, if you have a close look, it is moving somewhat after 110 degree, children. Okay, so with your accurate, with very minute observation, if you see the small lines, you will notice that measure of angle M over here is exact 112 degree. Now here you cannot see it, okay, you may get a little blur, but if you observe it minutely, children, you will know that after 110, that black line which is marking, it is towards 110, 111, 112. So exact it measures 112 degree. Okay, so now let's move ahead and find the next angle measurement. Now in this next figure, I have again shifted the position of the protractor, and you can see I have placed the midpoint of the protractor upon point L. Okay, so I'm going to measure the angle L. If you see over here again, you find one arm of angle L, okay, measuring towards 0 degree. Okay, and the second arm of angle L is measuring exact 30 degree. Okay, can you see that 30 degree? So here we conclude that measure of angle L is equals to 30 degree. Fine. Now let's move ahead and find out the last measurement of the angle. So here you have the last placement of the protractor, and here you can see the midpoint of the protractor. I have placed it on N. Okay. Now you can see the first arm of this angle, or one arm of the angle M. It is moving towards 0 degree. Okay. And the second arm of this angle N is moving towards slightly, again you have to be very minute. It measures nearly somewhat 38 degree, that is above 30 degree. So when you again minutely, very closely, when you see the small lines, you will come to know that the measure of angle N is 38 degree. Okay, children. So with this, now let us go and complete our table. So here it is, children. In this third column, we have written down the measures for the triangle LMN, wherein measure of angle L is equals to 30 degree, measure of angle M is 112 degree, and measure of angle N is 38 degree. You please need to view the slides and the video of today's again and again if you need to, place the position of the protractor in a proper manner. Okay, children, so you need a lot of practice for it. So rewatch the video and then do the needful. Fine, children, because only if you will learn to measure, then only you will come to know finally what type of triangle it is. So like now, if you take the first column, that is triangle DEF, okay, you see all the measurements of the three angles, that is measure angle D, measure angle E, and measure angle F. What you can conclude, children, because all the three measurements of the angle are less than 90 degree. So we assume that this first triangle DEF is an acute angled triangle. Okay, I'm not writing the entire thing, I'm just writing the word acute. Okay, so please understand that the first triangle DEF is an acute angle triangle. Why an acute angle triangle? Because all the three measurements of this angle are less than 90 degree. Similarly, if you have a look at the second column in triangle PQR, you find that out of all the three measurements, there is one angle measuring exact 90 degree. And which is that angle? It is the angle Q. So out of the three, if any one angle measures exact 90 degree, we call that particular triangle as a right angle triangle. Okay. And in the third column, you can see in triangle LMN, here you can see out of the three angle measurement, there is one angle that measures more than 90 degree. So it is angle M. If you go to see the measurement of angle M, it measures 112 degree, which is more than 90 degree. Okay. So when you come across such type of triangle in which out of the three angles, one angle measures more than 90 degree, you call that triangle as an obtuse angle triangle. Okay. So children, this is how you should know to measure the angles of a triangle. Okay, and then finally identify whether they are acute, obtuse or a right angle triangle. I hope the concept is clear with you. Now, after I have helped and showed you, okay, how to measure the given triangles and complete the table, okay, that was your first question wherein you are going to do it today. After you complete that, next you are going to refer to your textbook page number 80, wherein you have your practice set number 36 given. And in this practice set number 36, the very first question given to you is based upon today's video lesson. That is, you need to observe the figures below and write the type of the triangle based on its angle. Okay, so it's simple over here. They have already, you don't need to measure. Why? Because already the measurement of the angles are given to you. Okay, so if you have a look here, in all the three triangles, okay, whether it is the first triangle PQR, second triangle XYZ, or the third triangle LMN, they have given you some on the other measurement, or they have given you some on the other hint. Okay, so with that measurement hint, you have to conclude only in a form of one simple sentence, that is, triangle PQR is a dash triangle, triangle XYZ is a dash triangle, and triangle LMN is a dash triangle. Okay. Now this I leave it up to you, because I want you to think and answer this particular question number 1 of practice set 36. See that you draw rough figures of these triangles with the help of a pencil in your notebook or in your sheets. Okay, clear? Okay, children, wherever you are supposed to draw any rough figures, see that you please do it with the help of your pencil. Okay, and the final answer, please see that you write it in the pen. So please complete your work today, that is, view the assignment section. You will come to know what exactly you have to do for today's particular video lesson. Fine. With this, I take a leave. View the assignment section, update your work, and please see that you rewatch the video and learn how to measure the different angles in a proper manner. With this, I take leave. Thank you so much.